welcome to today's live webinar. My name is Clara and I work as a business developer and researcher at TechTrain, and today I'll be sharing from my most recent study on the future of work in education, and I'm happy that you all are here. Before we dive into today's topic, let me share a little bit more about myself. I've been working at TechTrain for a year and a half now, and I have my background in psychology and cognitive science. My focus is on enhancing TechTrain's educational offerings through in-depth research and strategic development. And my responsibilities include conducting studies, articles on various educational topics, and driving innovation in IT training and development programs. A key part of my role is to make sure that our training program stays up to date while actively researching emerging trends in education and IT to identify the key skills that are needed at the job market right now. And that's exactly why we're here today, to explore how these emerging trends are shaping the future of work and education. Many of you may be familiar with our training offerings, but what some of you might not know is that we actually do a lot of research behind this and make sure that we are constantly working to stay ahead of the trends. Today, I'd like to take you on a journey through my thought process during my most recent study, how I approached the subject, and I also try to make sure that if you guys want to learn more about this topic, that you get some advice on how to tackle this problem too. My goal is to introduce you to several key concepts related to the future of work and education. Some of these concepts may be familiar for you, but hopefully, in any case, you learn something new and have some interesting takeaways after this session. If you have any questions along the way, Aslan already mentioned that, you can always ask questions in the chat, because it's very important for us that we explore and discuss the ideas together. Before we begin, I also want to emphasize that my goal of this session is to spark your own thought process. So I want to help you to reflect on where you are at your current job position and your company and where you stand in this evolving landscape. So active questioning is very important in this presentation, as it will maximize your learning success. And yeah. But first of all, I want to ask you to sit back, relax, and let's get started. Understanding change. We are living in a time of rapid, unpredictable change. Sure, AI has been with us for a while now, but latest since the launch of ChatGPT in November 2022, it feels like the whole world has taken notice of it. And suddenly AI is no longer something that happens in the future, but it's here, it's with us, and it's already shaping how industries operate and how we work every day. And I have to admit, even in my work, AI has played a part. It helped me organize my ideas. It made sure that I cover all the topics related to this subject, and it also helped me to make sure all the ethical aspects are met. So if you want to call it like that, it's actually the perfect co-worker, and it's clear that AI is becoming a valuable tool, and this is relevant really across all the areas, and not just in theory but also in practice. Let's begin with the tough news. The way we work will keep evolving, and some of the roles we have known for years will change or even disappear. This is because of machines, algorithms, and automation are getting smarter and more capable. Sometimes it can be frustrating, of course, as we see jobs that we really thought only humans could do are now sometimes even better done by machines. You can also see an example on the slide. I think we have all seen them. Self-pay options in supermarkets are in some cases already replacing the workers. And I think that's like one of the examples that we really see in our everyday life. But here's the upside. This shift brings incredible new opportunities. We are stepping into the age of Industry 5.0, where it's not about machines replacing us, but actually we need to learn with them so that machines work alongside us. And that's a key point I want to emphasize on today. So what exactly is Industry 5.0? Some of you might already be familiar with it. For others, it might be something entirely new. Industry 4.0 focused on automation, smart technologies, the Internet of Things, but Industry 5.0 actually goes one step further by bringing humans back into the equation in a meaningful way. This means it's kind of a collaboration between humans and machines. We are working side by side with machines to achieve even higher levels of efficiency, creativity, and personalization. And the focus in the production industry, for example, shifts from simply speeding up processes and cutting costs to actually adding real human value. And it's more about creativity, judgment, and the kind of insights that only human, like typical human features, which machines alone cannot replicate. And it's a learning of the earlier industry 4.0 that we now need this human-centric approach. This raises the question on what can machines really do for us in this new era? Well, machines and AI are excellent at handling the repetitive tasks, for example, analyzing vast amounts of data, optimizing processes that humans simply don't have the time or capacity for. So all the annoying tasks, if you want to call it like that. And it helps us humans to focus on the creative problem-solving tasks, features that make humans, like emotional intelligence and complex decision-making. So you can see again, it's not replacing us, but it's improving our work. Help us to get rid of this routine tasks so that we can concentrate on the meaningful work. They assist us in analyzing complex data and allow us to make decision-making more efficient and faster. But we cannot make a mistake here. Change is coming, jobs will shift, roles will be redefined, and the skills in demand will evolve, and the workplace will require more adaptability, creativity, and collaboration than ever before. And in the beginning, this might feel intimidating, but it's also an exciting opportunity for all of us, as Industry 5.0 will push us to focus not just on efficiency, but on sustainability, creating solutions, and make sure that all of this is actually ethically sound. And it's very important that businesses see these opportunities and also put them into practice. To sum this Industry 5.0 chapter up, Industry 5.0 helps us work smarter, not harder. And I think that's a very important note. As we navigate these changes, it's important to recognize the key trends that are truly revolutionizing both work and education. And I'd like to briefly highlight a few that are shaping our future right now. While I do, I want to ask you guys to also think about how these trends are already influencing your own work life, and whether you are already in contact with them or already noticing that they are already implemented. The very first one, we talked about it enough now, I think, but it's, of course, artificial intelligence and automation. The taking over of the repetitive task, freeing us to focus on more strategic and creative aspects. In order to make this shift a success, it's important to allow our employees and ourselves continuous learning and upskilling, because as industries evolve, so must we, the workers. And other than that, we are also seeing a significant move towards remote and hybrid work models. The traditional office setup is no longer the default, and flexible working environments are becoming the new norm in companies, bringing new digital tools for collaboration and productivity. And at TechTrain, for example, we all work from home. And if you think about your own workplace, I guess there are probably also some coworkers that you rarely see in person, and it's still a way of work that functions very well. In education, AI is driving a trend towards personalized learning experience. It allows us more tailored educational pathways that better meet the needs of the individuals. So that's also a huge benefit. Alongside this, there's also growing emphasis on soft skills, like all the skills that I mentioned earlier that cannot be replaced by AI and that are very human-centric and will not be easy to be replaced. All of these trends are not only transform the way we work, but also they help us to learn and adapt to new challenges that are coming with these new times. These were just a few examples. There are a lot of more specific trends, especially in the domain of AI, like VR, the metaverse, AR, but we will come back to this a bit later. In the next part, I want to be a bit more specific with the aspect of learning. Many of us remember school lessons filled with algebra, poetry analysis, or chemical formulas. Topics for most had for most of us little relevance in everyday life, and yet critical subjects, skills that we could actually really use in everyday life, like communication skills, financial literacy, or time management, they were often overlooked. And this brings us to a very important question. How can education be reimagined to better equip students and employees for our rapidly changing world? And it's clear that education can no longer focus solely on the theoretical knowledge that might be replaced in future. We must also develop crucial skills, again, problem solving, creativity, and digital literacy, soft skills that prepare us for the jobs of tomorrow. So to meet the demands of our changing world, we need innovative approaches to education, and technologies like AI and VR are transforming how we learn. For example, VR could be used to bring historical events to life and conduct experiments in virtual labs. VR is already used in a lot of jobs that require training. As you can see the examples on the slides, especially jobs that have a high risk, or medical domains, for example, where doctors are able to conduct surgeries that are kind of difficult. The VR is a very useful method to make sure that all of this works smoothly in the real world in the end. And other countries like Estonia and Finland are leading the way, and they're already using these digital tools a lot more than we do in the DACH region. And this will definitely also be a big part in the future, and it will come more and more. However, these advancements come with a challenge. We face the problem of inequality in this topic again. Not every school or student has equal access to modern technology. The digital divide is real and left unaddressed. This increasing digitalization also increases the inequality when it comes to learning opportunities. There are some governmental solutions for it. For example, in Germany, we have the Digital Pacts for School. They are trying to close the gap, but of course, it's not always easy to face the problem. And technology alone is not enough. We also need to invest in the teacher, in the training, and develop comprehensive educational strategies to ensure that these tools are used effectively and to their fullest potential. Besides that, the social and ethical challenges, besides the inequalities, there are also social and ethical questions that we need to ask ourselves. While digital tools enhance learning, face-to-face interaction between students, which are actually vital for developing social skills and ethical judgment, they might suffer from it, and that's why we need a hybrid approach that combines traditional teaching with the digital learning methods, and this is a challenge we need to face in future. We also have the need that the use of AI should be responsible. We need to find ways to make sure that the ethical guidelines are met and clear ethical guidelines are established. so that the students positively benefit from it. There will be different learning methods for that. As I said, VR, AR, also approaches like problem-based learning, in which the critical thinking of the students is more challenged, will be more relevant in future. What might education look like in the future? Imagine it's the year 2045. Schools as we know them now may no longer exist. Instead, we could have globally connected learning systems where students immerse themselves in virtual worlds. Physical classrooms could be replaced by VR experiences, allowing students to witness historical events firsthand, or even stand side by side next to Einstein in a virtual lab, or things like that in futuristic cities. I think we could spend hours creating such future scenarios, and we did so in our case study. However, due to the time constraints today, I won't go any further into detail, but you will be able to read a bit more about it in the case study. And it's very interesting to see how far our own imagination can go when we think about the future topics. In fact, many forward-thinking companies are already paving the way by adopting alternative work models. They are redefining the way we think about work and embracing new approaches to drive both innovation but also flexibility. And in the case study that I wrote, I researched a lot about different big companies who are trying it out with these approaches in order to be more innovative, more flexible. And let's dive into an example we all know, Google. They've built over the years a reputation as a tech giant, but they are also a leader in innovation and flexibility. And one of their most famous initiatives in this domain is the 20% time rule. This allows employees to spend 20% of their of their working hours on personal passion projects. And it's not even necessary that these jobs have anything to do with their current job position. And the idea of Google might sound a bit strange for us in the beginning, but this project helped Google to come up with things like Gmail, Google News. Like, Google is, of course, a huge company with all the different services, and some of them even came from the part when the employees had the chance to be the most creative. And another example that Google did was that they were very early with the flexible work and the remote, and this, for example, helped them during COVID. They didn't really struggle with starting with the remote environment just because they already had it established, and they faced the problems other companies had later, already during the tryout phase before COVID. So yeah, it's always good to be flexible and innovative in that sense. And there are, of course, other examples of companies that are doing similar things. But yeah, Google is one of the most famous examples, I would say. Now we will talk more concrete about our own study. Inspired by these findings and the background information, we developed our own research questions, which you can see listed on the next slide. So you can see we covered different domains in our research. And I will not read them out, but you can read it on your own very quick. On this slide, you see an overview of our participants' demographics, which reflects the results of our study. We reached 200 participants with our study. The majority was coming from the DACH region. And you can see on the left side that most people, or that actually we had a very diverse group of people working in different industries. Additionally, 60% of the people who responded to our survey had some kind of personal responsibility. One of the very first questions that we posed to participants was to freely share keywords that come to their mind when thinking of the future of work. And based on that question in the survey, I also would like to take a couple of seconds and reflect on what's the first keywords that come to your mind when thinking about the future of work. You can share them in the chat or just write it on paper, whatever, just, yeah, to get your own idea sorted. Okay, as I said, we also asked the question in our own questionnaire, and you can see some of the answers on the slide. They are just examples, and as you can see, many of the answers highlight a strong focus on improvement and increased flexibility, which is actually a very positive image, and I was very happy to see these results. And I hope that your own answers might also go more into a positive direction than in a thoughtful direction. According to the results, we found that some of the main findings I listed on the slide, I will roughly go into them. Despite the rapid changes in technology, job satisfaction among our participants remains very high, with the majority of participants rating their satisfaction between 7 and 9 out of 10, which is a very strong indicator that professions are adapting well to a very fast evolving landscape. Very nice. And another standout finding was the use of AI. Over 80% of the companies reported that they are already using AI in their everyday work setting, also in domains like automation, data analysis, and fraud detection, which is overall very, very good and illustrates just how deeply AI has penetrated strategic decision-making across industries. Looking ahead, the future of work will be shaped by two key trends, continuous learning and flexibility. Over 90% of our respondents believe that ongoing education and flexible working models will be central to the future workforce. Moreover, 75% see access to digital tools as essential to success in the digital work environment. So a short conclusion, our study shows that companies investing in both technological innovation and human skill development, these are two of the major focuses of them right now. AI and automation will continue to shape our work environment, but human quality like empathy, creativity will always be indispensable. And it's all about us. For us, it will be very meaningful to balance the technological advancements and make sure that they kind of work with human connection. The key takeaways and key findings are also listed here once more. Companies that invest in automation and AI are finding it easier to tackle the skills shortage. That was what our results showed, that the people who reported that they don't suffer from skills shortage, they have the implementation of AI already fixed. By 2030, remote and flexible working models will be a permanent part of the workforce. That's in line with the beliefs of our participants. And one raising topic in the companies is also the importance of IT security. Over 75% of companies are already focusing now on enhancing their cybersecurity measures, showing the growing importance of protecting digital assets. To succeed in the fast-changing world of work, companies need to stay agile, innovative, and forward-thinking. Drawing from our case study, we have identified some key strategies to help navigate the challenges and seize the opportunities ahead. The first aspect is promoting an agile work culture. This means that flexibility is essential. Companies should make sure that they don't have too strict hierarchies, promote teamwork, and introduce flexible work models. Then another aspect is investigating in digital skills and lifelong learning. In line with the increasing digitalization, we also need more skills, and skills that a lot of times will be improved, and always make sure that they are up to date. And yeah, soft skills will be one of the major aspects. Then flexible working models. They are no longer just a benefit. They are nowadays even an expectation of the employees. It's a fact that they are boosting employee satisfaction and retention. So if you really want to make your employees stay long at the company, make sure that the new work features are all part of the company. Then, just as we also noticed in the example of Google, fostering innovation and creativity is one central aspect, and to stay competitive, fostering a culture of innovation and flexibility is very crucial. It's similar with the sustainability, which is also no longer just a nice to have, it's a strategic priority. And it's very, very important that companies start focusing on it. So to sum it up, preparing for the future of work requires a proactive and well-rounded approach. And it's not just an option adopting these new technologies, but also fostering agility, innovation, and investing in our people is very important. By embracing new work models and facing the challenges head-on, companies can survive the constant change and prepare for the future. The key to long-term success lies in finding the right balance between flexibility, innovation, and responsibility. We won't have time to dive into the very last part of my presentation today, but as a psychologist, I want to highlight the crucial aspect, this crucial aspect as well, because of course the future can feel uncertain sometimes for us, which is sometimes even a feeling of fear. I just want to acknowledge that this is a natural response. And if you're looking for guidance on managing this fear or anxiety, there's also a guideline at the very end of our study that might give you here some helpful advice. The sources we used, and that's it from my part. Aslahan will explain you how to access the full study. I really appreciate you taking the time today to listen to me. And if you read the full study and want to keep in touch, I think Aslahan will mention it briefly. You can always contact us.
Thank you so much, Clara, and thank you everyone for joining us. I hope you found this webinar inspirational, because I learned a lot from the insights. Thank you again, Clara. And if you're interested in our research, you have a chance to get early access to these insights. You can write your demand in the comment, or write a message to us on DM, and we can share the link with you, and you can deep dive into the details, insights, and what you want to get from the research. And if you, furthermore, for more topics about technology and trend, we mainly share them in Tech Trail, our monthly newsletter on LinkedIn. And you can also subscribe to our newsletter for more information and insights like this. If you have any question later on, feel free to reach out to us. For updates on future webinars or other developments, continue to follow us on LinkedIn and our other social media channels like Instagram, Facebook, X, and Reddit. And let's keep in touch. And thank you again for your participation, for your time and consideration for everything. And see you next webinar. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.